If you're just starting out with sample drill beats, the beginning can kind of be a little bit confusing. If you have trouble finding your samples, finding good chops, and finding good loops, come to the right place. Today I'm going to be breaking down how I made Rochelle Jordan's Lowkey into an NY sample drill type beat. So first off is you guys want to pull whatever sample that you guys are thinking of using. I'm starting off with Rochelle Jordan's Lowkey. Shout out Kevin for giving me this sample, you know what I'm saying? I'm not on TikTok, so I don't really scroll like that. But, you know, if you are, I'd recommend that you use your time productively and keep an ear out for good samples that you think you might be able to use in the future. Moving on. Once you have your sample, set your desired BPM before anything else. So I like to really hover around the 146 to 143 range. So I'd say good medium would be around 145. So let's set that. Set the tempo to 145. We're going to move over to the beginning of this track. Alright, so I like this beginning part right here. Anything without the drums can really work. It'll time up perfectly once we do this. So we're going to go over to this top left icon, and we're going to go over to fit to tempo. And then we're going to make it 100 to 200 because our project tempo is 145. Alright, it has now been synced up with our project tempo. We do have to tweak around a little bit.
5 years going on 6, feelings that we've had always dismissed. The sun just tapped.
As you guys can probably tell, it starts around here, but it is kind of late. What we're going to do is we're going to move this.
5 years going on 6, feelings that we've had always dismissed.
Okay, and now we're going to make our snip and separate the drum part from the actual part. Then, when that's done, we're going to click our stretch, and we're going to stretch this all the way to the back, so it'll line up with the correct 8 bars. And once that's done, we can just listen to our sample over again with the metronome playing in the background, just to make sure that everything syncs up.
And when you 5 years going on.
Alright, so this one has a nice transition at the end that I'm going to leave on. An even better alternative to the metronome is to just lay down a hi-hat pattern. And if you guys wanted to know, this is the basic drill hi-hat pattern that you can use in any of your drill songs and it'll sound normal. Some people like to do little stutters and rolls. I like to just keep things simple with this, so let's continue with the snare. Snare is going to go something like this. You can even spice it up a little bit too here. Now that we have heard the hi-hat and snare pattern, we know that our sample is to time. Now we're going to continue in FL with our drums. I like to keep things simple when it comes to these type of sample beats because the more space, the better. Now we're going to play with the pitch a little bit. But before we do that, we're going to head over to this track and we are going to consolidate it. What this does, not exactly sure, but just do it. Your CPU will thank you later. Now that the track is consolidated, it's no extra BS, it's just the whole thing. Just make sure that this thing is trimmed. Clean it up a bit. And I'm thinking of pitching this up maybe about 3-4 cents. Let's see. I feel like it's a little too high, so I'm gonna move it down one. Alright, now we can play it and hear how it sounds. That's fire. I think with this kind of vibe, we might want to go with a spins 808 type drill. Usually in drill music, it's mostly either the spin 808s or the drill 808s. Right now, we're going to keep it simple with the spins. Maybe we might add a switch up later in the song, but let's just see how the vibe's looking. Oh yeah, and side note to all the producers not tuning their 808s. My guy, stop making us look bad. Keep your 808s in key. I'm about to have a migraine. Anyway, let's continue. We're going to grab our spin 808s and head into the piano roll. And I'm going to keep these pitched up just so I can identify the notes easier. Obviously the rhythm is off, but these look like to be pretty good notes. Everything sounds in key. Another tip from our producers, make sure your 808s are not clashing, overlapping, whatever you want to call it. Just stop your beats from being muddy, bro. We're going to come over here to the Spins 808, or whatever 808 you're using. Open up the envelope, and you're going to put the attack down, the hold all the way up, and the descent, sustain, and the release down, and the release down, and the release down. It should look like a square, like this. If I put the note extremely short like this, it stops. This is what you need. Make sure your 808s aren't clashing together. Another alternative to this is going over here and just clicking cut itself inside the channel rack. Now with the rhythm of our 808, all right, and this is what we have. All right, moving on. The basic premise of the beat is pretty much done, but there is one crucial element that I forgot. We're just gonna shit over here in the sand, just add a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna, yeah. Don't forget the soft clipper. Don't ever forget the soft clipper. Moving on, before we continue the rest of the beat, I think I just want to head over to the mixer track, EQ out some of the lows inside this sample, just so they're not clashing. Alright, that should be good enough. So with this beat, I'm thinking it'd be nice to maybe add 3 parts. So part 1 would obviously be our Spins 808 pattern. Then I do want to add a drill 808 because, you know, I'm addicted to slides and all that, you know. My third part, a little bit of a Jersey type vibe, becoming really popular when it comes to New York drill artists. We're going to copy and paste over the same exact hi-hat pattern and snare pattern because we just keeping it simple. Now we need an 808. This kick over here, this kick is uber punchy. Shout out Crossfinger, bro. Lord. We're going to follow the same root notes that we did with the Spins 808 on this one, but we're just going to keep it a little bit more drilly. Make sure, same thing, coming over here and you're fixing your envelope. If you guys have 808s that are out of key or out of tune, head over to the audio editor. So Edison, select this flag right here, detect pitch regions, and if in the middle of your 808 it says anything besides C, come over here to the wrench and right click which key it is. Let's say for instance this 808 was tuned to D, I would just click this note right here to make the root note D. Right, and we're going to turn these into slides. Quick tip when you guys are making your 808 slides, keep the 808s in the key of your song, please. In this case, our key is C sharp minor. Use the scale highlighting, please. We're going to bring that down 1 octave. It kind of sounds stupid. Let's continue on with the Jersey bounce. Alright, for the Jersey bounce part, I picked up these sounds. This clap, this stomp, this squeaky bed loop, and this little triangle sounding thing. The guidelines for Jersey bounce are pretty simple. It's usually just doom, 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 doom. We're going to make that here with the 808 first. So we're just going to have that follow the root notes of the pattern, and let's hear how this sounds. I can already hear the average TikToker shaking their hips to this. When it comes to the clap for Jersey stuff, it's usually just kind of similar to a pop clap. When it comes to the hi-hats, we're literally just going to copy over the pattern from the 808s and just make it all the same note. If anybody in the comments knows the shortcut to do this, please let me know because I've been trying to figure it out for a while and this is extremely tedious. We're also going to turn the velocity down because holy. Moving over to the stomp, we're just going to have this one play like this. For the triangle, we're going to have it follow the stomp, but skip every other beat. For this bed squeak sound, we're going to put it in the track and we're going to fit it to tempo as well. And we're just going to loop that. When it comes to the basic formula of sample drill, this is pretty much all the stuff you guys gotta know. Just switch up your instruments and be creative and stay in key. Please, if your sample's popular enough, go over to Google and just type in this song key. I'm gonna finish arranging this beat, do some stuff with the mixing, and I'll show you guys what it sounds like.